Two kingdom system, Carolus lineage, right?
Yes.
But in two kingdom system there were some problems, and to modify it, another scientist, what is his name? And Robert Harding Whittaker, he classified the organisms on the basis of complexity of organism. Means some organisms are unicellular, some are multicellular, so he kept them in different groups. Again, he classified according to complexity of cell. Means some cells are well developed, some are poorly developed. Well developed means the nucleus is advanced, well developed, and cells are poorly developed means there is no presence of nucleus, only some threads are there. Eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Eukaryotes means their cell is well developed, nucleus is well developed. Prokaryotes means nucleus is poorly developed. You can see here, Monera are prokaryotes. What are they? Prokaryotes. Protista are eukaryotes, but they are unicellular, right? And these plantae, fungi, animalia, they are multicellular and eukaryotes. Multicellular and eukaryotes. Prozoal absent. Okay? Five kingdoms. See here. Here are the criteria. How many criteria are given? Six criteria are given, right? So we can make it a bit small. Become easy or not? So what is the first criteria? Complexity of cell. Second criteria. Third one is. Fourth one. Fifth one. Mode of lifestyles. Okay. Monera. According to cell, they are prokaryotic. Means their cell is less developed. Nucleus is less developed. Eukaryotic. Nucleus is well developed. Nucleus well developed. Nucleus well developed. Nucleus well developed. Complexity of body organisms. They are, most of them are unicellular. They are
Unicellular.
They contain tissue, organ also. They contain multicellular tissue, organ system, right? Next one, cell wall. How is the cell wall of Monera made up of? Peptidoglycan. What is the name here? And protista made up of cellulose. Fungi made up of chitin. Plantae cellulose. But in animalia? So we have to give a glance and then memorize things. Don't distract your mind here and there. Keep the water bottle down. What is the fourth one? Nutrition. Nutrition means how they supply nutrients to the body. How they supply nutrients to body. So what is given first one? Autotrophic. What is my autotrophic? They can manufacture their food themselves. They can produce their food themselves. What is the process called? Photosynthesis. Process of making food by using simpler substances is called photosynthesis. And heterotrophic means they cannot manufacture their food themselves. Protista, autotrophic or heterotrophic. Fungi, plantae, animalia, heterotrophic, holozoic. Okay. Motility means whether they are able to move or not. Monera,
Motile or non.
they may. Some they move from one place to another. Some they cannot. Here,
Motile
may or may not. Right? 50-50 chance is there. Next one.
non-motile.
Non-motile. They do not move at all. Here.
Usually non-motile.
Here.
Usually motile.
Animals they move. So we are animals. We came from our home to school. Then again we go to different places. Right?
Yes.
Okay. What is next one? Mode of lifestyles. Mode of life cycle means whether producer, consumer or decomposer. Okay. This Monera are either producer or decomposer.
Decomposer.
Producers, what do? They produce, they manufacture food.
Yes.
Decomposers, they convert complex food into simpler and soluble form. Okay. Next one. Producers, consumers, decomposers. They are
Decomposers.
They are?
Procedures.
they are
Consumers.
Example is given. What is the example of Monera? Bacteria.
Bacteria.
Cyanobacteria.
Cyanobacteria.
Fungi.
Protozoans. Diamodes.
Fungi.
Slime.
Slime mouse they belong to here, right?
Yes.
Algae, fern, pine, mustard.
Mustard.
Yeah. Sponges, bat, earthworm, whale, sparrow. That's great. So these all techniques were given by whom? Robert H. Whittaker. You have to remember. Who gave this? Robert
H.
Whittaker. Okay. So now you just read this one. What is given here? Monera, prokaryotes, protista, fungi, plantae, animalia.
Multicellular animals, consumers, example animals.
Okay, so in today's presentation, students are going to explain about these 5 kingdoms, their characteristics and some examples. Is that okay? So let's welcome on the stage today's presenter, Sumit Khadka, and his super guru, Nirajan Shrestha. So we will keep all the bags at the table. Don't close the down. Everybody. Now find out. Yeah.
What's that?
Emails.
Huh?
They are learning, they are practicing. I haven't given any
Yes, I
animation.
know. Yes, sir. There are
Can
some
you sit there?
transitions.
Wait, keep animation, then I'll down. What is the name?
This from Jain Lama.
From which address is sent? Jenny Sadara?
No,
Jain
no,
Lama.
Jain Lama.
Jen Lama? Jen Lama sent this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Why Jen Lama sent? Jen Lama prepared and
No, you made it and yes.
Oh, okay, no problem. Now, let me download. Download it. Wait a minute.
Huh? Yeah,
We
maintain
have
the
to
sizes.
smart work.
Yeah, to maintain size.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Okay. Slide
One
show.
side.
Okay. You want to start now? Come on. One side and the other side. How you want to?
Namaskar and good morning to all. It's me Sumit Khadka. I'm going to explain about chapter 3.
Good.
Kingdom Protista. They are unicellular eukaryotic organism in which the nucleus is bound by the nuclear membrane. It is unicellular eukaryotic organism in which the nucleus is bound by the nuclear membrane. They locomote with help of ear like cilia or pseudopodia or whip like flagella. It locomotes with the help of ear like cilia or pseudopodia or whip like flagella. They produce by both asexual and asexual method. It reproduces by both sexual and sexual method.
Okay, now he'll explain. Give it to him.
Okay. So it's given here about kingdom protista eukaryotes. Just now we studied about eukaryotes and prokaryotes. So prokaryotes are those type of cells kingdom in which the nucleus is not well developed. And eukaryotes, it means it is derived from the word which means to say that it is the cells of the kingdom which is exactly well developed. And he has given some of the introductions about it. They are unicellular eukaryotic organisms in which the nucleus is bound by nuclear membrane. We studied about it last week. It is said that they are unicellular. Unicellular means the type of organisms which has only single cell in them, and it says eukaryotic. Just now I explained about it that their nucleus is very well developed, and organisms in which the nucleus is bound by the nuclear membrane. Bound means surrounded by the nuclear membrane. It's a nucleus. Here is our nucleolus, and something is here like this. It is called as the nuclear membrane, and it's given here. They locomote with the help of hair like cilia or pseudopodia or whip-like flagella. Locomote means to move, and it's given that this species from the kingdom protista moves or transport from one place to another place with the help of the hair like cilia or pseudopodia or whip-like flagella. Whip means a shape. And it's given here they reproduce by both asexual and sexual methods. It's given here about asexual and sexual methods. These two are the methods by which they produce their new species. That was all. Okay. It got disconnected. So that was all about my turn. Now it's of Sumit Khadka's.
Kingdom fungi or micro. Fungi are non-green multicellular eukaryotic organisms. It is non-green multicellular eukaryotic organisms. Their bodies comprise of slender, long, thread-like structure called hive. Their body comprise of slender, long threads. Most of the fungi are saprophytes and heterotrophic. A few of them live as symbiotes and other parasites. Most of the fungi are heterotrophic and saprophytes. A few of them live as symbiotes and other parasites. The cell of fungi is made of chitin. It is made of chitin.
Yes. So it's given here about kingdom fungi or mycota right now. As it was before as before protista. Now it's given here about fungi. Fungi are also called as mycota. Fungi are decomposers. Decomposer means those type of organisms which make the producers or the foods or nutritions into soluble substances. And it's given here that fungi are non-green multicellular eukaryotic organisms except yeast. It means to say that non-green means we see that around us there are green plants, so they are green in color, but fungi are those type of organisms or plants which are non-green in color. They are multicellular means they have multiple cells in them. And eukaryotic organisms except yeast eukaryotic organisms means their nucleus is very developed. And except yeast, yeast is a species of fungi, which is not eukaryotic organism but is prokaryotic organism. And it's given here about that their body comprised of slender, long, thread-like structure called hyphae. It's given here about hyphae now. Their body means the body of fungi. It comprises means it has a body of slender, long, thread-like structures called hyphae. Hyphae is a structure found in all fungi. It's like this, and it's some long thread-like structures in here. It's called as hyphae. And most of the fungi are saprophytes and heterotrophic. A few of them live as symbionts and others as parasites. It means to say that most of the fungi they are saprophytes and heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means they have to depend on others. For their food, and saprophytes means they take on their host for their food. And it's gone here. A few of them live as symbionts and others as parasites. So we studied about symbionts, heterotrophic, saprophytes and autotrophic like 3 days ago. So it's given here about symbionts. Symbionts means that there is an organism or species from fungi. They will search for a host or organism on which they can feed on. So they will find a organism where fungi can live on, and they will stay inside them but won't harm them. And it's given here. And other is parasites. Some other might be parasites which will harm their host and get their food from them. And it's given here. The cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin. It means we know that the animalia, we are human being, right? The plant cell, in plant cell the cell wall is it, and the cell wall in plant cell is made up of cellulose, right? Same as it in the cell wall of fungi is a kingdom. So in the cell wall of fungi, it is not made of cellulose but it is made up of chitin. And that was all about my turn. Thank you.
Kingdom plantae. They contain chlorophyll in the chloroplast as a photosynthesis pigment. It contains chlorophyll in the chloroplast as a photosynthesis pigment. Most of them are autotrophic in nature, but some are hetero as well. Most of them are
Autotrophic,
but some are heterotrophic as well. The cell wall of their cell is made of cellulose. Generally, they store food in the form of starch. Their cells is made of cellulose, and it stores food in the form of starch. Thanks.
Okay. So it is now given here about kingdom plantae. So before this we studied about fungi. So plantae are also called as producers. They are the type of producers as they produce their food by their own. And it's given here that they contain chlorophyll in the chloroplast as a photosynthetic pigment. We studied about chloroplast some days ago. Chloroplast is the type of plastids. Chloroplast is the type of plastids. Chloroplasts are greenery in color. As a photosynthetic pigment. So it's given about photosynthetic pigment. So photosynthetic, it is a type of synonym of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of preparing food in green plants. So it's given about photosynthetic pigment. The kingdom plantae, they contain chlorophyll in it, which are contained in chloroplast which are remained in chloroplast as a photosynthetic pigment for the process of photosynthesis. And it's given here most of them are autotrophic in nature, but some are heterotrophic as well. Some minutes ago I also thought about it. Autotrophic, it is like new. Autotrophic, it means to say that they prepare their food by their own. They do not have to depend on other for their food, like fungi. In nature, most of them are autotrophic, means that the species from the kingdom Plantae, they do not need to depend on other for their food in nature, but some are heterotrophic as well. It means to say that not all of the species from the kingdom Plantae are autotrophic, but some might be heterotrophic too. Heterotrophic means that they are not as autotrophic organisms. They have to depend on other for their food. And it's given here that the cell wall of their cells is made up of cellulose. Generally, they store food in the form of starch. As I said before some minutes ago, the cell wall of Plantae is like this, and the cell wall which is here is rightly made up of cellulose. And generally, they store food in the form of starch. Yes. In our human being body, in Animalia, we store food in the form of glucose in our body. Likewise, in Plantae too. In Plantae, the species of the kingdom Plantae, they store their food in the form of starch in their body for their future use. Thank you.
Kingdom Animalia. This kingdom lacks cell wall in their cells. It lacks cell wall in their cells. They feed in a heterotrophic manner. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic. They reproduce by sexual mode for reproduction. It reproduce by sexual mode for reproduction. Many of the animals are adopted for locomotion. Thanks.
Okay, so now it's here about kingdom Animalia. By looking this topic, we can also understand that in this kingdom Animalia, the species presented in it are normal animals, and Animalia, the species containing in the kingdom Animalia are called as consumer. Consumers. They consume producers. And it's given here that this kingdom lacks cell wall in their cells. We studied about it about some week ago. In kingdom Animalia, the cell is made up of animal cell, and we studied here is nucleus, but only cell membrane is present in Animalia cell, means there is no any presentation of cell wall in this kingdom Animalia, and they feed in a heterotrophic manner. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic. It's given here about mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition means the process of intaking of nutrition in a nutrients in a body. It means to say that they feed in a heterotrophic manner. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic. They feed in a heterotrophic manner. As I said before, they have to depend on other, and they feed on other for their foods, and they reproduce by They reproduce on bisexual mode for reproduction. To produce their new one, they use the method of sexual mode, and many of the animals are adept for locomotion. It means to say that many of the organisms or species in the kingdom Animalia, they can locomote or transfer from one place to another place. Thank you.
Advantage of five kingdom classification on it is a widely accepted system of classification which is scientific, and autotrophic are placed in kingdom Plantae, with heterotrophs are kept in different kingdoms. The prokaryotes like bacteria are placed in kingdom Monera, as they are composed of
Prokaryotic cell.
Thanks.
Okay, so it is given here about advantages of five kingdoms classification. So 2 days ago we studied that when Carolus Linnaeus proposed the two kingdoms, there came some difficulties in classifying the animals. So Robert Harding Whittaker proposed 5 of the kingdoms, which made it very easy to classify the animals in their similar groups according to their genes and characteristics. So it's given about the advantages. What advantages are given after Robert Harding Whittaker proposed or discovered the 5 kingdoms classification. It's given here. It is a widely accepted system of classification which is scientific and more natural. After Carolus Linnaeus proposed the two kingdoms, there came many type of argument from different scientists that some of the animals were not able to be kept in Animalia and Plantis too. So there were some problems. So Robert Harding Whittaker proposed his 5 kingdoms. So that made it widely accepted by the international world, by all the scientists across the world. That made them very easy to understand about and keep all the animals in the same groups according to their similar genetics, characteristics, etc. And the other points were that it was easy to recognize or classify the animals in their similar groups. And
Thank you very much. When there is no electricity, then what happens? The smart board also doesn't function. Yes or no? Right? But our work must go on. And in today's presentation, main presenter, Sumit, he just read those slides matter, only reading, but from next day onwards, you must explain as well. Understood or not? Only reading one sentence, two sentences doesn't matter. You must read that one, and what is there you must explain like Nirajan. Understood? So this is the time to practice. Understood or not? So what are the 5 kingdoms? Monera, first Monera, Protista, Fungi, Planti, Animalia. But there was no slide of Monera. Already it was discussed. Oh, very good. So we discussed main, like they are autotrophic, means Planti. They are heterotrophic, means their mode of nutrition is holozoic and reproduced by sexual method. They are Animalia. So mainly two characteristics must be set in mind. Okay, how many? 2. If we say two characteristics, then you can do well. Why are you holding your bottle in your hand? Keep down. So listen, students. Today is 31st of Jestha 2081, and our exam will begin from 21st of Asad 2021. Means there are about 20 days left, right? Yes or no? And we are just forwarding our lesson with our capacity. And tomorrow, what do? We will do this. All questions are completed.